when I was like, gave you the definition of feminism, you had an issue with me saying that anti-male rhetoric and misandry is bad. Why?
I don't have an issue with that being...
You did. Both of you did. Because when I brought it up, you're like, who hurt you, Brian? Why do you care?
I actually am curious why you feel the way you do. I'm always interested in people who I don't necessarily agree with. Why? Because I like to explain why I feel the way I do.
What do you disagree with? Like, what's there to disagree with about being against anti-male rhetoric? What's there to disagree on?
I'm not disagreeing with you on that. But like I said before, in my criticism when I initially sent you that first message, sometimes there just seems to be some and actually it took me a while to remember the specific thing from the episode, but there seems to be kind of some anti-feminist attitude.
What would be wrong with that?
Like bowing. Like you're asked the question about bowing. Like I don't even know what hypothetical situation I'd be in. It just seemed like it was a weird humiliation thing. So.
Not humiliation at all. It's a demonstration. It's a temperature check for if a woman can actually be submissive. And I would argue that the demands that women place on men are orders of magnitude greater than simply a benign, effortless, unless she's severely disabled, any woman can do a bow. So this idea that it's a big ask when women want men to pay for first dates, when women want men to be protectors, when women want men to open car doors, when women want men to observe the sidewalk rule, which would seem to suggest that the woman wants the man to basically be a meat shield for her in the event that a car comes barreling down the street and fucking, he can push her out of the way and he can fucking die on a first date when she's got 10 sugar daddies and she's fucking 3 other dudes and you want some fucking sucker to die for you on the first date. I'm good. The bow is completely reasonable. I
don't think that that is reasonable. And
what's the bow?
Yeah, and not only that.
But do you think it's unreasonable for women to expect men to pay on first dates?
I do.
I guess you didn't circle that, but you do acknowledge though that I want to say the majority of women want men to pay on first dates, even liberal women.
I do think that's rather hypocritical, and I don't expect to have to be paid for on the first date.
The world isn't built of women like you. So I'm operating on generalities here. I think in general, women have an expectation that men should pay on first dates, right? I think maybe it's definitely not all women, but I want to say it's a majority. That would mean 51% or more. I think that's completely, I don't know if there's statistics on that. I think it's very realistic probability. If men should pay on first dates, that means, okay, how do they pay for it? Well, they have to work. So when a girl says a man should pay on the first date, if that first date is $100 to pay for the first date and he makes $20 an hour, the man has to work 5 hours to take a woman on a date. A bow is that.
Who's
no
expecting
effort.
$100 on the first date?
Hold on.
I'm fine with coffee dates.
If I bring a girl to fucking Chili's and we get an appetizer, we get drinks, we get a main course, and we get a dessert, and then the tip, I'm going to spend $100 at Chili's.
That's a lot of food.
If you can't afford to have a woman, then maybe you should get your money up, not
but
funny
look, there are places you can go that are going to be less than $100. I don't think it's out of, it's some insane spend in 2025 for a guy to spend $100 in total on a date.
I think it's to each their own.
And some girls here are going to say,
to each their
only
own.
$100?
No, to each their own.
I disagree.
If you can only afford to pay for the Honda because you have Honda money, then don't go for the Mercedes because you're literally going to get in debt.
Wait, shouldn't that apply to the women? Like if you're... If you're a Ford Pinto, shouldn't you just not want a guy who makes $10 million a year?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's why I said that I'm going to have that money.
But are you the Lamborghini? Are you the Ferrari?
Yes.
Wait, hold on. Let's do this.
Yes.
McLaren. I don't know.
Maserati.
You're more
Porsche.
like Porsche.
Porsche is cool.
Okay, Ferrari, Lamborghini,
Bugatti,
Porsche. Or you know what?
Aston Martin.
Carrera GT. Is that even a fucking car?
That's one of the
Yes.
Camara or Carrera?
It's Carrera.
Okay, well, I don't know. Whatever. Wait, hold on. Hold on. I'm not going to let you guys keep escaping, though. When I gave my definition of feminism, and I said my true definition of feminism is women's advocacy, and then baked in anti-male rhetoric, misandry, you guys were like, well, why do you care, Brian?
Because it sounded like you were talking from some place of so
Your heart.
hatred. Like you're getting red. Like I'm like, oh, he's hot. Like this is a topic that really
I'm against.
that really gets to him.
Oh.
So I wanted to know why. Like what?
I don't know. If you hear somebody say a racist slur, would that get to you?
Well, I guess I can't speak for.
Wait, what's that?
They don't deserve the racist slur.
And men don't deserve bigotry.
I'm not. But like if the women are entitled to their opinions. If women think these things are meant, like nobody's saying anything about
Hold
you.
on.
So why does it matter?
Wait. Let's explore that.
Like
Women,
these are
I
our
love it.
opinions,
I love it. Women are entitled to their opinions.
and you are too.
Well, hold on.
And-
what opinions are we talking about? So, for example, is it a woman's opinion that she could say men are trash? Is she entitled to that opinion?
I think anybody's
Yes.
entitled to any opinion.
Do you think men are trash?
I don't.
Do you think men are trash? Really? I thought the majority of men
I
are
think
creepy
the majority
weirdos.
of them are trash, but there's like a
What-
good
No, we
selective
said the
group.
majority
He's
of
upset
creeps
because you guys are
are.
making generalizations. He's not a murderer, a pedophile, any of that, but yet he's still treated differently because of people, I guess, like you that assume automatically that
I'm not
the
assuming.
general population of men
And I never
bad,
argued that.
are
You said
creeps.
she said the
I
majority.
didn't. I'm saying I
think-
didn't.
Okay, well,
I
know.
don't think.
I don't think
know you,
all
and I
men
don't
are
think you're
trash.
weird.
That was never my argument.
I never
Well,
said
I
that.
don't even hold on. What you met me, so you don't think I'm weird. You probably do think I'm weird, but you don't want to say it. Whatever, that's fine. I'm still going to come to the defense of the broad population of just normal men who also get lumped into this this bigotry and bias against them. So whether your determination of me is kind of irrelevant here, I'm broadly against anti-male rhetoric and misandry. So why it matters to me, you say, well, if I heard something racist, you heard something racist, you would be against it. If I hear something sexist against men, I'm against it.
Yeah.
I
Okay. Because
guess
you're
I
a
was
man and it
just-
hurts your feelings. I get it.
What, hold on. I don't know if it hurts. I don't know if hurting my feelings.
It is because that's what.
But is that you're doing it in sort of this mocking way?
No,
like,
I'm-
Oh, look at the poor baby.
No,
His
I
feelings
guess-
are hurt.
No,
That's
I
not
didn't
my
mean
point at
like
all.
that. So I can't speak for
That's-
anyone else, but when I try to talk to someone I disagree with, I try to understand why they feel a certain way. And so the reasons, because I grew up in Indiana, I've always lived in Indiana, and I grew up in a rural farming community. You know, it's not like Yas, feminist, girl boss area. It never was. But the reason I started getting into feminism and learning about it, and it was long before college, before someone says, oh, like college indoctrinated you, was because I had some people treat me unfairly when I was growing up because I was a woman, and then listening to the stories of like my mother and grandmother and some of the other women in my life, hearing them, it made me passionate because I just want a better world for, well, everyone, but it just, some of the things that people I've loved face, I just don't want them to have to go through that again, or any future people.
That's
Okay, but-
totally fair.
And so I just wanted to know, maybe someone had been treated you unfairly for who you are. I wondered if that's what motivated you.
Yeah.
No. It has nothing to do with like specific like feminists who have treated me poorly. I am a person who has faculties of logic and reason and rationality, and therefore I can look at what feminism is and the ideology, and trust me, there's plenty of subject matter there for that warrants criticism. There's plenty in the feminist movement, in the ideology itself, baked in that warrants criticism.
And I agree.
Yeah, I agree too.
Well, okay. But when I
What?
gave you my definition of what feminist
I
is,
said I didn't agree. That's not my definition.
well, you
That's
didn't
not
agree
how
with it.
I
No,
handle
well,
things.
it's not just that. When I said that the feminist movement is anti-male rhetoric, misandrist, et cetera, you're like, well, who hurt you, Brian?
Because I don't
Who
agree to
hurt
that. Because
you?
that's not my definition of feminism. I'm like, who,
Well,
like, why
that's-
is this like the thought
I love
process?
it because that's what I wanted to get into. The reason I was asking you before about if you believe in the patriarchy, which you do, right? You believe in the patriarchy. That's like the core tenet of feminism.